Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about XUSD, some updates on XUSD and PDAI. So, for me, I've always seen XUSD and PDAI as complementary forces. So, I'm going to take a quick look as to why I first fell in love with XUSD as complementary forces, as well as some of the updates on XUSD, and just having a look at some of the ratios and prices between XUSD and PDAI. So, before we do get into it, obviously, I think I would like to just publicly, just once and for all, basically, there was a day there where I was trying to communicate with everybody in PDAI, in the PDAI chat, and it wasn't really going anywhere. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to just put out a public statement, and then that's the statement moving forward. So there has obviously been a lot of there's been a lot of issues around all of PDAI, obviously, with the extractor, the nuking, and the XUSD team, which was seen as being part of the issues around that. And so I think a lot of people have really missed the point that this was a massive vulnerability for PDAI, and it was corrected from the start, or rather before things really took off. So it's not an ideal situation. Obviously, we all wanted to get to a peg, but it didn't happen. Maker's dead, but there's already people that are doing alternate forks of Maker, and they're doing things like the ability to cast spells on the front end, where basically people could even create a spell that integrates PDAI into the new Maker, for example. So for me, it's still not dead. But one of the things that was the biggest issue about it was that there was that massive risk factor. And so I was defending Caddy in the PDAI chat. And obviously people, by now, they know I'm in the XUSD team. And the reasons why I joined the XUSD team. So I've had people offer to pay me for coming on the show or to be a sponsor. And I've always said no. The reason why I chose to go on the team with XUSD is because I loved the sound of the project. So I initially said no. Then I explored the project and I met the team and I was like, this is actually an awesome project. And it looks like it goes hand in hand with what PDAI can do. They look like complementary forces. I want to get some XUSD. So, hey, if I'm going to buy XUSD and I'm going to talk about it, why not just get sponsored as well? So that was the main reason why I was very, very comfortable with the team. I liked the team. And so in the PDAI chat, people have mistakenly accused me of basically being biased and conflict of interest because I was defending Caddy. I was defending her because I saw the disgusting way in which she was treated even prior to the ESM. I saw the misogyny. I saw the abuse. I saw just the overall disgusting comments about her appearance. It's just high school shit, really. That's what I saw. It was really pathetic. People didn't like the things that she was saying because it threatened their narrative and their perspective. And they said a lot of horrible things. And I saw that. I saw that before the ESM, and it was worse before the ESM than after the ESM. And so after the ESM, there was a comment that was leaked to the PDAI chat that Caddy said, I wish it went to zero. And I said, I don't blame her for saying that. I don't think it's an ideal thing, no, but I don't blame her in the way that I understand the human mind. If you keep getting punched in the face, and you're trying to help people, you're getting punched in the face, one day you're going to punch back. And unfortunately, if you don't like the punch back, well, too bad. You shouldn't have done all the punching in the first place. So it wasn't ideal. I'm not saying it was a good comment, but I could see why and where that comment came from. So that's the first time that I've sort of publicly spoken about it, and it'll be the last time that I've publicly spoken about it. For me, there is no competition between XUSD and PDAI. They took the funds and they pumped XUSD. This is completely false. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and the truth is going to get revealed over time. So I want to just start with that. And for me, it's never been a competition. It will never be a competition. If it has anything to do with bag bias and being on the team, I have a lot more PDAI than I do XUSD. So it has nothing to do with bag bias and everything to do with just defending a friend who I thought was treated very, 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 very poorly by a wide portion of the community. And of course, there's also going to be portions of the community which treated her very well that didn't deserve what happened. Nobody wanted it to go to nuke like that. Nobody wanted that. But there's always there is solutions, and the solutions, we have the power to make the solutions. So let's always keep focusing on the positive. So all right, so now that that's said and done, let's get into oh, what's this layout? Here we go. So one of the reasons why I first love XUSD, PDAI, I never thought, so PDAI, I never knew much about MakerDAO. I never knew much about MakerDAO. I was always looking at PDAI from the perspective of the ATROPA ecosystem and never thinking that there was something that could actually keep it stable at a peg, that it would always be some kind of arbitrage system that helps maintain that $1 for PDAI. That's how I always looked at it. What we have seen just recently as well is a P-Stables fork. So on, here we go. I'll actually just very quickly go back to this. On, if you go to info, you got the stable, and also if you go to liquidity, you've got the stable LP. So this was launched with PulseX. And when this was first launched, I became very excited because I was like, holy crap, you can actually do this thing where you can put some stable coins. So if I had 20 DAI, I could put it in here and it will get divided up into USDT, USDC, and DAI. And as it gets divided up in there, it helps stabilize those pegs on this blockchain. So they have pegged mechanisms that keep them pegged, but this is just something that really strengthens that peg. So when I saw this, I was like, holy crap, there could be some kind of P-Stables in the future, some kind of P-Stable LP. And lo and behold, just a few days ago, there was a P-Stable fork. So there was people experimenting with that. So I showed that on Twitter. I don't actually have that here. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but I just wanted to quickly mention that. So from that perspective, I never looked at MakerDAO as the thing that was going to peg us. I was never the overnight peg theory guy. I didn't like that. I thought that was a terrible idea for a wide range of reasons. And obviously now that idea is out the door. I always figured somehow arbitrage and the ATROPA ecosystem was going to help create this peg. So when I thought about it from that perspective, when I learned about XUSD and this thing here, we have PDAI that's trying to stay stable, and then you have this oscillating, vibrating asset that it can offset against. It's like they're just two complementary forces that can help keep the peg of the XUSD is not meant to stay pegged, but PDAI is meant to stay pegged. So this thing oscillating can basically provide an offsetting point to help keep PDAI pegged. So that's when I really love that idea. Just intuitively, it made so much sense to me. I'm not very good at explaining it, but instantly when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, they can actually work really, really well together. So I'm trying to find some kind of research to some sort of energetic principle. This is something that Nikki spoke about with the stronghold concept that we spoke about. I think that was 2 Saturdays ago. So that stronghold basically has 2 portions. There's his project, Better Bank, has 2 portions. It's got the stronghold, and then it's got the wilderness. And the wilderness is like the volatile thing, and then the stronghold is supposed to be this stable thing. And the way that he spoke about that and the math behind that is also like they complement each other. And that's exactly the way that I just intuitively thought about XUSD and PDAI. So for me, I've never seen it as a competition. It's never been a competition. I've always wanted everything on the blockchain to win and succeed. So it's just I guess it's just not how I think. So if I just asked ChatGPT just to kind of maybe get this idea out into the ether. So energetically, would a vibrating/oscillating force help keep another force stable by offsetting against it? And it says yes, energetically, a vibrating or oscillating force can help stabilize another force by dynamically offsetting against it. Here's the basic principle. So you have a constant force like gravity or pressure, which tend to push a system in one continuous direction. And then you have oscillating forces like vibration or wave motion introduce a cyclical pattern. They push back and forth around a point. This is also how light functions. So you have the light the double slit experiment. So light is at once a particle, which a particle is just a point. It's straight. It goes from here to there, but it's also a wave. Light is also a wave. So it just instantly just in my mind, it was, and I might be connecting things that don't necessarily need to be connected, but just intuitively, it just made instant sense to my heart and my mind. So if the oscillation is tuned right in frequency, amplitude, and phase, it can counteract the constant force just enough to create a dynamic equilibrium. The system doesn't collapse or get pulled apart, but instead rides the tension. So a few real-world examples: gyroscope. So the spinning oscillating angular momentum stabilizes the orientation of a moving object like a bicycle or a spacecraft. Bridge engineering. So bridges use tuned mass dampers, vibrating counterweights to stabilize against forces like wind or earthquakes. Atom trapping. Physicists use oscillating electromagnetic fields, radio waves, to trap and stabilize charged particles that would otherwise fly apart. So that to me is the best example there. So from an atomic perspective, because really we're talking about cryptocurrencies, but it's just energy, right? It's just a form of monetary energy. So atom trapping. Physicists use oscillating electromagnetic fields, radio waves, to trap and stabilize charged particles that would otherwise fly apart. So if you have the stabilized charged particles that would otherwise fly apart. So this could be the PDAI chart, which is getting massive dumps or massive buys, which is being offset against an oscillating electromagnetic field like XUSD, which would help to trap and stabilize the PDAI. And the XUSD is not meant to be a stablecoin. It's a vibratile asset. So the key ideas is the oscillation absorbs and redistributes energy that would otherwise destabilize the system, kind of like juggling energy back and forth rather than letting it build up destructively. So I'm going to read that again. The oscillation absorbs and redistributes energy that would otherwise destabilize the system, kind of like juggling energy back and forth rather than letting it build up. So even absorbs and redistributes energy. This is exactly what XUSD is designed to do. As it goes too high above the $1, then it will start to burn. So it will go into, oh my gosh, it will burn. So then the price will start to go down. And then when it dips too far below the $1 mark, sorry, it's the other way around. My apologies. It's the other way around. I always get these things confused. My apologies. I'll say that again. So once it goes above the $1, then it will mint. It will mint because as the supply increases, then the value will decrease. So that will bring it down. When it goes too far below, again, I got it wrong again. Hang on, I got it wrong again. These very basic things, and I make it so confusing for people. I'm really sorry. Maybe I need to be looking at a chart. Give me a second. Let me bring up the XUSD chart. So when it goes above the 1, it will burn. So when it's the value, no. Why is this so basic? Oh my gosh. It's been a long day. All right. So if I increase supply, increasing supply will decrease value. Will it increase or decrease value? Increase or decrease value? Ah, boy. Good question. Super simple. Super simply, if you increase supply and demand stays the same, value usually decreases. Okay. All right. Yes, I was getting it. My brain's a little bit scrambled at the minute. It's been a long, emotionally intense day. So if you increase supply, so in other words, once it goes above $1, then you start minting new tokens, which will cause the price to drop because each of the tokens in circulation gets devalued. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, when it goes below the $1, it will get burnt, which means the supply will reduce, which means each of the tokens will become more valuable. Okay, so this is what XUSD is designed to do as a vibratile asset. So that's how it helps offset against PDAI. So interesting how this kind of worked here. So you can even see, so now this is the XUSD and PDAI chart. So Actually, this is an old chart with, I can't believe the ratios got up to 20, 24. God damn, how good was that? So we were looking at this. We were looking at this where it was down here. So basically you would swap one PDAI for, how many would that be? That would be like maybe 5 or 6 XUSD. Now it's the other way around. One XUSD is going to get you 8.8 PDAI. So if you're still a believer in the narrative, which I still am, I'm seeing signs. I'm staying hopeful. I'm seeing ratios being created with the ATROPA ecosystem. I'm seeing the P maker. I'm seeing a maker fork. Like it's possible. It's all within our hands. It's all within the builders on the blockchain who can actually make this happen. So when I saw this ratio, I was like, oh my goodness. So one XUSD now is 8.8 PDAI. So in other words, you can swap 1 for 8. So if we go back to here, yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. So it used to be the other way around. So if you ended up doing a swap back there, if you ended up doing a swap on the lows, man, that's a freaking insane ratio. Man, look at this. Wow, look at these rewards, 23,000 PDAI. So yeah, that will end up equaling 8.8. So, and it used to be pretty much the other way around. So have a look at that. So, if you believe that eventually these will go as they should, 1-to-1, if you believe in the long term, as they should go 1-to-1, then yeah, that could be an exceptional ratio trade to create. So yeah, so I just wanted to have a look at the charts, the ratio. So XUSD, so even just looking at this straight up XUSD price, XUSD has had a pump, but now it's having another pullback. So everything's going to have its day, but I still believe in the pegging mechanism behind XUSD, or the mechanism that can drag it up. So you can also see the volume with XUSD has really radically reduced. So this was one of the things, well, it was a point of FUD around XUSD with people that didn't understand what was going on. So the reason why there was so much volume was because the rewards were being distributed in XUSD. So this increases supply. You can actually see how the price chart really reflects a lot the volume. The price chart's almost the same as the volume, which is really, really quite interesting. I've never really seen something like that before. I mean, it looks like literally, the line looks literally like exactly like it looks almost exactly identical to the volume, which is really quite interesting. So how high did we go? Wow. So yeah, we're up %. So yeah, now obviously PDAI is completely in the poop, but it is what it is. So XUSD. So the trading pairs on XUSD, they've updated some of the trading pairs as well. So they never used to have Treasury Bill, but Treasury Bill is now in there. So we have also XUSD BFF, XUSD ATROPA, OneSwap XUSD, PDAI XUSD, Wrapped Pulse Chain XUSD, Love XUSD, Ink XUSD, PulseX XUSD, Wrap Bitcoin, Teddy Bear, Affection, PHEX, and EDAI. So they were basically talking about the other day about introducing more into trading pairs. There was some suggestions about ATROPA ecosystem tokens, and I think probably not. I think there's enough ATROPA ecosystem tokens. I suggested something outside of the ATROPA ecosystem because obviously anything to increase potentials for trading is always it's a good thing. And then obviously the whole point with XUSD is you used to get distributed in rewards in XUSD. Now it's OneSwap. And now the VibePass. I wonder how many people have got a VibePass now. So I haven't actually looked at this for a while. I mean, everything with just PDAI had just completely consumed the whole blockchain. So we still are updating. We've updated the docs, but we've completed the XUSD docs, but we still haven't uploaded it to the website. Like the whole PDAI thing is just completely consumed. How many? It normally says here how many people have a VibePass, or maybe I actually have to. Maybe it won't until I log in with mine. It used to say how many people have a VibePass. Yeah, VibePass holders. I must have to connect to get the VibePass holders data. So what I might do there is I might actually I might connect, because I'm quite curious to see how many VibePass holders, or how many that's increased, because that's the beauty of this, right? It's a vibratile asset. So the burning and the minting, when it vibrates around the one, that gets distributed out to holders. So if you're doing the burning yourself, then you're getting positive VibePass, and then when it gets minted out, it'll get minted out to the people according to their VibePass as well. So according to their ranking. So this is something that makes it very, very interesting, in my opinion. So it's something where you have to, in order to get your VibePass up, you want to do some trading, you want to do some, well, mostly you want to do buying, actually, adding to LPs. So let me just connect my XUSD wallet. I just hope it don't really, I mean, I think we're going to make this public anyway, but I don't really want my wallet details there. But let's hopefully I can kind of make it not visible. So yeah, when you think about that from the perspective of a pegging, like helping maintain a peg, and when it was talking about the oscillating forces, and with the atom, and it was talking about, let's go back to that. All right, so that's connected up. All right, nice. Okay. Yeah, when it was talking about the oscillation absorbs and redistributes energy. So that's where the VibePass actually comes into it. So absorbing and redistributing. So absorbing the burning, redistributing the minting, and VibePass holders are the ones who are getting the redistribution. So let's have a look how many VibePass holders. 113. Nice. So it's over 100 now. So it pretty much shows my score anyway. Damn, your reward pool share used to be a lot higher. Because I used to be doing it so much more, but yeah, I need to get back into it. So yeah, OneSwap as well. So OneSwap now is a reward token. So I'll be very interested to see how this reward token develops. If it's going to be like a down only reward token, I reckon Surfacing's probably got some tricks up his sleeve. And I think once we do get closer to the dollar mark, I think a lot more people are going to want to get VibePasses. And in order to get a VibePass, you need to purchase it with OneSwap. So I'm just going to have a look at the daily with OneSwap. At the moment, getting a heck of a lot of lag. So I'm just curious to see, okay, so it is at a low. So we did have a pump. So I'll just be very curious to see how this performs, if it's going to be like a down only rewards token, or if it's going to have something in there to make it not just be a down only. So I reckon Surfacing's definitely got some tricks up his sleeve. So okay, all right. It's not really a huge episode today. I just wanted to cover the updates with XUSD and just make a comment on that. So so Phoenix Elite Property Group, they aren't coming on. I didn't actually ask them to, but I will get them on. I definitely will get them on. We do need to do more. They need to chill as well. I think it's been a very emotional time for them. So I haven't really pushed too much on trying to get them on stream, but they'll definitely be keen to do it. So what's going on, Hex Evolved? Hexologist Heart, what's going on, man? Orez, what's going on, brother? Hex G Unit, Brandon. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's been a lack of sleep and a highly emotionally intense day. So too much meditation. Yeah, actually, I have done a lot of meditation today, actually. So there are only two genders. We don't have Pedo Joe and I don't know what this is about, but good morning. Somebody did a video about PDAI being the bid for all of ATROPA Eco and XUSD, and it's only sustainable because of it. Interesting. I haven't actually watched that video, so I'll definitely have to look at that. So yeah, for me, it's still the dream is alive, man. I'm a dreamer. So I want these things to work, and I'm trying to find ways to make them work. I don't want to complain about this or that, or why it doesn't work, or what happened, and blame and any of that. It's not interesting to me. What's interesting is the future and the potential of the future. Those are that's where my mind is pretty much the majority of the day, always thinking about the future. Good morning, Grandpa Pulse. And good evening for the Aussies. Yes, indeed. So, oh, nice, Grandpa Pulse. Jasu, haven't seen you around, brother, for a while. Good to see you again. What's up? Conspiracy Crypto. I think it's funny when people aren't NASA scientists try to tell a NASA scientist how to run an ecosystem based on fluid dynamics. Yeah, Hexologist Hart. Yeah, I mean, there's even FUD around Maria not being a NASA scientist, and he says he is, and we kind of just. I mean, I take it for as it is. I mean, it was in the FOSDEM. It was in his 2008 presentation. He's doxed. It doesn't seem like it's something worth lying about, but you know, people are awfully suspicious in the cryptocurrency space. So nice, Grandpa Pulse. Getting a VibePass, I think, is very, very important. Get your VibePass early as well. Don't wait for it to get to $1 and get a VibePass. You want to get a nice percentage early. That's all I'll say. So, because obviously the higher your percentage, the more rewards you're going to get. I don't understand any of it, but I'm not selling my PDAI until well into the bull market whenever that happens. Fair enough, Steve-O. Oh, 113. Yes, we confirm that. Nice one, Grandpa. I said, what's up, boys and girls, and thought Hexevolve was talking to me when he said, you're confused. Ah, right. No, yeah, I was the one that was confused. So, yeah, look, I just wanted to keep this a very short one. I don't want it to be too long. It's less than half an hour. I just wanted to, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've streamed, actually. And I kind of, once I get out of the momentum of things, sometimes it can be a bit hard to get back into the momentum. The weight of habits and pivoting on things is quite difficult sometimes. So someone found James's LinkedIn or something like that, and he has NASA on it. Yeah, I mean, why would he lie? I mean, lots of people lie, I suppose. But yeah, like I said, in his 2018 FOSDEM, it was in there. His credentials were in there as well, and they shared his credentials on that particular talk as well. So I don't see any reason why he would. So yeah, but that whole story, what an interesting story the whole ATROPA ecosystem is. So yeah, still so much negativity surrounding that whole ecosystem as well. It's really quite fascinating, to be honest. I'm still really quite blown away by the levels of hate. Yeah, it's just I don't understand it. I don't understand why. I just don't understand why. I mean, it all seemed pretty clear to me, but I guess everybody's got different perspectives. So, not been consuming it much content. Personally, I don't think it gives me an edge, and I lurk in the background of your streams for the vibes. Thanks, Jasu. Yeah, I probably haven't been consuming a lot of content either lately, so I definitely do need to do. You know what? Let's just have a quick look at the ATROPA charts, because I actually haven't looked at them for a while either. So let's just have a look, see what's going on. So damn, even Pulse Chain is doing all right. I haven't even looked. So yeah, nice. Pulse Chain broke out of that trend with a lot of conviction too. Maybe that's Target Crypto King. Maybe that's the Target Crypto. Is it Target Crypto King or Target Crypto God? Sorry, Target Crypto God. I don't think he watches my channel, but if you do, yeah, I know he doesn't like Maria. I don't know why. A lot of people don't like Maria. It kind of blows me away, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. So let's have a look at. We've got to invert this, don't we? To get. Oh, screw that one. Actually, let's just go to the ATROPA here. So ATROPA's definitely had a good recovery. And if you still believe in this, man, and if you still believe in PDAI, there is so many good ratios out there, everything around PDAI. Like, there is so many good ratios. It's crazy. I think, what is it? Let's have a look. PDAI to ATROPA. I can't believe XUSD went up to 24. That's so insane. You know, like, this is where ratios are so good, man. That's so good. Ah, wow. So good. PDAI. Look how low PDAI is. 3 zeros and an 8. Oh my gosh. Boy, oh boy. Come on, laggy lag. But yeah, the XUSD, right? I mean, this is the beauty of the ratios. When it was, what is it now? Okay, so 36 to 1. Interesting. So one ATROPA is going to get you 36 PDAI. And at the top, so at the very top, I mean, this is how good ratios are. I mean, you would have had to have been extraordinarily lucky, but let's be conservative. Let's just be conservative. You could have doubled your ATROPA bags, basically. So even at 1 to 60, 1 to 66, if you swapped all your ATROPA into PDAI at 1 to 66, or hang on, sorry, 72, and now you swap the PDAI back into ATROPA, you've doubled your bags. You've doubled your ATROPA bags. Or you could have, for example, swapped 50% back. So then you got your initial ATROPA bag back, and then you've got an extra PDAI stack. And it's the same thing for the XUSD. It's the same thing. I mean, I cannot believe it got up to 24. I really got to pay more attention to these things. Sometimes you just kind of like lose sight of these things, but that is an exceptional ratio. It got all the way up to 24, and now it's down to 8, which means if you happen to swap your XUSD for 24 PDAI, one XUSD for 24 PDAI, for example, you could have swapped 1 million XUSD and got, you could have swapped 1 million XUSD and got 24 million PDAI. And now you could swap that back and you would end up having 4 times the amount of XUSD. So you could swap it back now and you could have 4 million XUSD. So this is how good it is. So, all right, Maria has some very high market cap coins in the multi-millions with tons of leak between pairs. Yes, Cake, correct. He does. So, yeah, it's like a derivatives, a liquidity derivatives system, I suppose. That's kind of like part of the way that I see it. EDI, PDI, WPLS liquidity pool rewards are very nice. Thanks for your contributions, guys. Oh, nice, NJ Dub. So you're just moving pointless coins ratios around. Where is the USD value? Yes, Lumps. That's a valid point. That's what Somi said. So I disagree partially with that. Now's the time where you want to be accumulating your coins, but obviously in the long term, yeah, of course we do want the USD value to go up. That's the aim of the game. But when the whole blockchain is moving up and everything moves up, as we've seen in the past, then the USD value of everything is going to move up. And if you've spent the time to swap ratios and accumulate coins now in these lows, then your USD value is going to be a lot higher than what it is now. I think the way that I saw that comment from Somi was a lot of frustration, and I don't blame him. It is somewhat frustrating with how like low everything is, but yeah, things are looking pretty good at the moment, actually. I don't know if you guys have seen, but just in case you haven't, like, where are we now? Nice. So we're almost up to 95K. So yeah, Bitcoin's definitely looking like it's looking pretty bullish again. The Trump on Solana started pumping again. It did 100% the other day, so it doubled. So it kind of feels like it's go time again. You know, the tariffs are starting to ease. Trump is going to be meeting with China. So things are starting to change and ease up. So I'm pretty excited by that. So it really does look like we're past the pain and we're going to be entering now back into upward momentum. So why does Steven always look like he's high? Do I? Maybe I do. Sometimes when I meditate too much, I suppose, like if my eyes are closed, maybe that's why sometimes. But then also I've got like a bung eye. So I don't know if you can, is it this eye? This eye looks smaller in the screen, but this eye is like, it's like a lazy eye. It's not a lazy eye, but yeah, it's kind of a bung eye. And it gets more pronounced when I'm drunk as well. So I don't know. I guess it's just my face, man. Why do I always look so high? You can trade these coins for PLS, which you can swap for USD. Yeah, exactly, Hexologist Heart. So check out the bear graph. You mean the bear chart? Did you mean Pulse Chainer? Let's have a look. So teddy bear. So the OG teddy bear. So I got banned from, but I got resubmitted to the OG teddy bear chat, because I mentioned on Twitter about the other teddy bear, and to be honest, I probably am not going to buy the new teddy bear. And I'm only going to advocate for this one. But I was just trying to keep the peace, to be honest. And I thought maybe I would, so I just made that comment. But yeah, I don't know what you want to have a look at this one, Pulse Chainer. But this is some volatile price action. I'll tell you what, if you were in an LP with Teddy Bear, these last few weeks, boy oh boy, like you would have been cleaning up. I know Sonny's got a nice Teddy Bear Pulse Chain LP, so Sonny will be absolutely cleaning up. So yeah, LPs, man, LPs is like, if you don't want to sit at the chart, sit and stare at the charts all day, and you believe in the long term of these projects, liquidity providing is definitely a good option. So everything is in the toilet, Grandpa Pulse. Exactly. Yeah, but and there's always two sides to that as well. It's like, okay, everything is in the toilet, which I completely agree with, but it's also the best time to accumulate and build. It's also the best time to do these swaps. Like the volatility is where you make the money. Like the VIX in the stock market, the volatility is what you want. That's what's getting you price movement. So like the ratios of some of these things is really, really blown out. And again, yes, the USD value is not going up, but if you're accumulating more of those tokens, and when the USD value does go up, boy oh boy, happy days. So all love, K-Man. Likewise, brother. Yeah, I know you're probably just having a laugh, bro. It's all good. I didn't take any offense. So I actually completely agree with you. I'm always like, fuck, I look so stoned, and especially when I'm extremely tired. there's some streams where I'm just look so stoned because I'm so tired. I'm just so wrecked. I'm a Teddy Bear LP provider and love the Bear Pulse Pool Hexologist Heart. Oh, bro, and and this is the thing again as well, like, getting into the Teddy Bear and Pulse LP, maybe when it was up here, it's like, oh boy, you get in there, you might get like, depends how much of a whale you are, right? You might get like less than 1% of the pool. But if you can accumulate down here and then get in the pool, it's pretty juicy. It's a pretty juicy position to be in. Whether it goes up or down, it doesn't matter. You're winning. So there we go. That's the Teddy Bear chart. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some rest. Doesn't have to be a long one today, just a nice half an hour stream. So yeah, just a few little updates on XUSD. So again, just wanted to address those comments around XUSD, and I think we will see more things will get revealed. So when I start interviewing John and Caddy, we'll get some of these things out in the open. We'll get more people from the XUSD team to come on. There are, as I said, the documents, they're complete, but they're just not on the website yet. So once they're on the website, I'll do another stream there. So I'm going to try and do some more XUSD content. And yeah, I mean, stay open, folks, because for me, why choose one or the other? Why choose one or the other when really they complement each other? That's the beauty. It's like I saw it as a team. It was like, wow, what a perfect team that these two tokens together. It's like I used to watch VP Trading, a forex channel, and he made like a six indicator algorithm, and he would talk about it as like a team, and like this indicator is supposed to be for your volume. This indicator is for the trend. This other indicator confirms a trend. So basically, you have like, if you've got two trend indicators, you want them to basically be different enough. Like they're both reading the trend, but they're both very different in the way that they read the trend. So they're complementing each other. And that's how I'd seen that in the past. That's immediately how I saw XUSD and PDAI. So, all right. It is the Macedonian droopy eyes, and maybe like the Macedonian huge head. Macedonians, we got huge heads, huge square heads. So a lot of people don't understand how powerful the V2 LPs are. I completely agree. I think there's a lot of people who think that, and there's nothing wrong with this, that the V3 is better. I don't have a lot of experience with V3, but I really like V2. I really like V2, and for me, that's enough. Like this is what PulseX was launched on, so I'm happy to play within that field. So have a productive day, sir. So it's nighttime here, Mr. Trump. So you, sir, have a productive day. I'll be having a productive sleep. So DIB, burn and earn PDAI. Just saying, DIB, big silly. Nice. Never heard of that one, sir. So yeah, these are the kinds of things. So even on that, there's lots of tokens. There's a few tokens that you can mint and then burn PDAI against within the ATROPA ecosystem as well. So the dream is most certainly not dead. So 333. I'm going to go to bed. Take care, everybody.